Okay, so actually, hold on a second. There we go. I actually wanted to start off with ambient lighting. So, sun is shining. You know, I got my cape on. Yeah, I know a cape on is a bird, you fool. Anyway, yes. So, how about we get started with my low, my high, and my active kindness, shall we? So let's see. My low yesterday was nothing really made me feel down yesterday, but I guess a low doesn't really need to make you feel down. I guess a low could be something on the lines of, I guess, being quiet. Because by all accounts, yesterday was a rather quiet evening. Nothing really strenuous or nothing too major. It was nice. I like that. So, I guess if I had to pick a low, I guess it was I overslept a little bit this morning, but that's, again, I did kind of need it. You know, got my a nice walk in this morning. It was nice. I like walking up here. It took me about 47 minutes, I think, is how long it took me to do it. So yeah, I went pretty much one end of the cove and back. So it's about a 2 mile. Altogether, I'd say it's around 2 miles, give or take. So yeah, it was a nice 2 mile walk. You know, it was really nice. I had some music on. That was really awesome. Actually, that probably was my high. I was listening to music the entire way, and it was awesome. A lot of Dragon Force, a little bit of light orchestra, a little bit of Macklemore. I listened to a little Macklemore. What else did I listen to? That was about the extent of it. I mean, there were a few other songs too, but they really wouldn't be anyone that are mainstream. One song I listened to is from this one YouTuber who sort of does English covers of Japanese songs. She goes by Megami33. She's actually really good. Yeah, I was listening to Blizzard, which was the song that came out in promotion for Dragon Ball Super Broly. So yeah, I think I'll put a link to the description of that song down below, and I think I'll put the Japanese version for comparison. That's what I'll do. So there was that. Listen to some good music this morning on my morning walk, and my act of kindness. What was my act of kindness? Well, this is something I always do, but whenever we go out to a dinner up at any of the places in Cuca Lake, as we walk out, I always say thank you for the meal. Because, that's what you do. I mean, we pay for the meal and stuff like that. We tip. But, the important thing is, you got to thank the good people at that establishment for the meal that they gave you. So, that's what I like to do. So, yeah. All in all, it was a very, very nice evening. And without further ado, how about we get started with Amphibia episode 27, by my count. Which is another episode that was divided into two 11-minute segments. The first one is a scavenger hunt. Now, the episode starts off, they're at this one restaurant, and a message comes in via flying arrow into a wall. And Marcy opens up the scroll. It turns out it's like a scavenger hunt puzzle type thing, which is kind of neat because Marcy's really good at that stuff. Meanwhile, so Anne, Sprig, and Marcy are going on the scavenger hunt. Meanwhile, right as Hop, Hop, and Polly are about to leave, the waiter at the establishment they were eating at is like, "Would you like to join our rewards program? You get free prizes." And Hop Pop's like, "Free prizes?" It actually got to be really funny because at one part of the episode, you see them pass by the restaurant they were eating at, and Hop was like, "If we order 9,999 more meals, we get a free suit of armor." All I'm thinking is, I would join lots of rewards programs if it came with a free suit of armor. That'd be sweet. I would totally do that. Seriously, McDonald's or something like that. Make that happen. If you order $10,000 worth of food, you get a free suit of armor. That'd be awesome. I would totally do that. Not really, but I'd be interested in doing that. That'd be pretty cool. So basically, all throughout this episode, they're trying to figure out the scavenger hunt, and this is basically an episode where Marcy really is showing off her strengths in terms of intuitive thinking and puzzle solving, which Anne unfortunately is not very good at. But all throughout the episode, Anne meets 3 random strangers. One was a little girl who she helped get her cat out of a tree. Another one was an elderly woman she was talking to just to pass the time. And the last one was a nacho cart stand, which I've never heard of a nacho cart stand, but that sounds really cool. So basically, the point of this episode is we all have different strengths. In this case, Marcy figuring out all the clues of the puzzle, which I'll reveal is in a second, and Anne is just really good at making connections with people. I mean, she just met 3 random strangers throughout the course of the episode, and they all really like her, and they actually tried to help her when they were in danger in the sewer from a giant alligator. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, Anne thought she could figure out one of the clues, and she thought it would be in the sewer, and she releases an alligator that not only eats garbage, but they also eat, raw meat, so kind of dangerous. So, yeah, all in all, it was a really great episode, and it turns out that the message was a message from the king of Newtopia and pretty much all of Amphibia, who said, and the message was, bring me planters, or bring me the planters. So basically bring in, Anne, Hop Up, Sprig, and Polly. And then we go immediately to the next episode. See, I really like how it's like just a sequence of events that it works that way. It's awesome. So the next episode is the planners check in, where we actually get to meet the king, who was the same shadowy figure that showed at the very end of last week's episode. So, from the most part, the king of Amphibia, I forget his name, I'm so sorry. But he was voiced by Keith David, who, I'll get to him in a second. Basically, his personality is, charming, whimsical, fun. So, we know that there is some sort of an objective, at least we, the audience, do. But he comes across so far now as a pretty likable guy. I like him. Then again, the fact that he is voiced by Keith David, makes it so much better. Oh, right. For those of you guys who don't know, Keith David, I mentioned this a lot last week, but when Disney had that old show Gargoyles, Keith David voiced the main character, the main gargoyle guy. And he also was the voice of the Shadow Man in Princess and the Frog. So there you go. Keith David is actually quite a bit of a pedigree in terms of acting, but that's a whole different video for another day. So basically, the king gives the planners a free room at this one hotel, and you have this one credit card, you have unlimited spending. It was actually really funny. So Sprig wants to go on an adventure, everyone else wants to stay in. So Sprig is about to take the credit card, but Hop Up's like, you're not taking it out of the hotel. And Sprig's like, you didn't say anything about keeping it in the hotel. So basically, Sprig goes on, shenanigans ensue. It's awesome. He buys, ice cream. He, what else did he do? He bought, a whole bunch of, coffee. I guess what would be Amphibia's, equivalent of, Cuban coffee. So, one sip and you're just, completely wound up. In fact, they actually recreate the joke from Futurama where Fry had 100 cups of coffee and then Fry's able to move, super fast. They do that here, too. And I really like that. As a fan of Futurama, I approve. Actually, another thing they did is Sprig is getting haircuts. And so, the guy is, giving Sprig, different haircuts, right? One of them was Super Saiyan Blue. It was hilarious. So, as a fan of Dragon Ball, I also approve. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z. If I say Dragon Ball, just assume you know that I really do mean, in this case, Dragon Ball Super. But, yeah. It was a really couple nice Easter eggs right there. And apparently, there's this one bellhop who was voiced by Christian Shaw. You would probably know her as that one Triceratops in Toy Story 3, as well as Louise on Bob's Burgers, and Mabel on Gravity Falls. I actually really like how this bellhop that Christian Shaw played was actually a really subtle character that she does. I mean, Kristen Shaw is really funny, and she can act, but, you know, she can like really be like sort of like dramatic and heartfelt when she wants to be. It was a really good performance, I'm not gonna lie. So basically, she's a bellhop who's like kind of down on her luck, but she gets a hold of the credit card, and they try and like basically Sprig and the bellhop like fight for the credit card, right? And eventually they get to the top of this one Ferris wheel, which is supposed to be like the best view in all of Newtopia, which it actually did look really nice. That's one thing I really like about this show. This show does a really great job of establishing light and color really well. Combine that with really good animation, then yeah, you're golden. This is a really good show. That's one of the reasons why I really like the show. So all in all, the episode ends with like Sprig being completely tired. Everyone wakes up from their nap. They want to go out. Sprig wants to stay in. It's that sort of story. But it was funny. So all in all, I really like how this episode really focused on some world building. Yeah, or at least in terms of like Newtopia. We get to meet the king, which, you know, he really does have a likable personality so far. I mean, again, because of last week's episode, I'm kind of wondering what sort of like plan he really has. But, you know, it's you know, it should be interesting. Although one thing I should mention before I go is it was established that without that music box, you know, the one that Anne opened to get them into Amphibia, you know, Sasha and Marcy and Anne, you need the music box to get home. And they established that, yes, Hop Hop does have it back at the barn, but they didn't say that he buried it, so oops. And also, one thing that they finally noticed is the music box. If you remember in the opening, the gems were different colors, but in the photo of the box that Anne has on her phone, the colors are all gone. So we know where the colors are. You know, Anne is clearly blue, Marcy's green, and by default, Sasha has to be like red, magenta. They need to establish what kind of color that is for me to be able to say what it is. So for now, I'll just say red, just to be on the safe side, because it is, by all accounts, a shade of red. We just don't really know what color specific it is yet, but we will soon, and that's awesome. So yeah, all in all, this is a really good episode. It established some characters, you know. Again, it gets some creative world building. I love like the designs of Newtopia so far. It's all like beautiful, but then again, it was hyped up to be this great place. So, you know, it was like Bossing saying Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you're gonna make this like a really big sort of important place, you better make it look nice, and that's exactly what they do here with Amphibia. So, or with Newtopia in Amphibia, I should say. So, yeah, not really much else to say. It was, I don't know, it was a pretty wonderful evening. Got to stay in. Don't really know what the plan is yet for today, because, you know, it's, again, if it was quiet last night, chances are it's going to be, you know, quiet today, but it's not going to be, like, bad. Plus, you know, yeah, I think this is probably the clearest blue sky I've done when it comes to these Cuca Lake videos so far. You know, fun fact, you're actually, fun fact, on average, only 45 days out of the year do you get a blue sky like this in your given area, I think. I think that's how it goes. I learned it way back in earth science, way back when I was, you know, a young, stupid teenager. But, yeah, just thought that was interesting to know. Other than that, you know, it's should shape up to be a pretty wonderful day. And can't finish the day without a little bit of this. Actually, it's just the video. Oh, the sun's gonna be really bright, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Actually, it's not so bad. I'll squint though. Alright, so like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social platforms, Strong Vacation YouTube. I very humbly made this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy for them. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And remember, if you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.